You have to lock it. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, bet. She's telling everyone to lock in, and I did. Sort of. I mean, I won't lie to you, it's very difficult, especially in the beginning. So I have all these goals in mind, right? I want to grow on YouTube, and I want to become a billionaire because, if I'm being honest, there's no such thing as too much money for me. Also, I want to have a body of a god, and I ended up procrastinating towards these goals because there's just so many distractions, and I bet you're distracted by my cat over here. You have to lock in, my guy. Just look at me. For example, social media is one of those biggest distractions for me, and on top of all these goals, there's also school to think about.
School! Fuck all this bullshit! What the fuck?
Right. I forgot about that. Sounds so good. Oh right, forgot. I have to lock in. Where were we? A part of me wondered why I was procrastinating and why I was so distracted, and the reason it made me wonder is because it just bothers me, you know? I sort of lost sleep to it as well. I'm exaggerating, by the way. Also, I sort of obsessed over it. I wrote about it in my journal, I thought about it while taking a shower, I thought about it in my sleep, and I even asked ChatGPT about it. I was acting. And after lots and lots and lots of hours of reflecting, I eventually found out why I was struggling to lock in, and the reason why I struggled was because I simply didn't know what to do. I mean, that's literally it. I just didn't know what to do. That's why I would procrastinate and stare out the window sometimes. The reason why I didn't know what to do was because I didn't have a plan. So I made one. What I noticed is that if I know what to do, I am surely going to do it. And I have these goals in mind, right? Like I mentioned a while ago. If you were paying attention, that is. Anyways, I have this goal of, let's say, making 1 million subscribers, for example. Well, yeah, that's cool and all, but how do I get 1 million subscribers? You see? Which is why I get really specific. I ask questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Don't forget the how. That's really important. After getting specific, I plan everything and I write everything down on my calendar, for example. I even write down when I'd take a break, and you might ask, why take a break? Aren't you supposed to lock in? Well, the thing is, I'm human and I'm not a machine. When you think about it, even machines need maintenance. Think about it. When it comes to planning, I think the part that matters the most is that you are able to stick to them consistently, which is why I am not too ambitious when it comes to making plans, because I tend to be a little bit delusional sometimes, which is why I plan realistically this time, because what good are plans if you can't stick to them, right? I'll have you think about this for a second. Imagine each of your goals as a big loaf of bread. You don't just eat the whole thing right away. What are you, insane? You need to chop it up first. And it's okay to have big goals, but you need to chop it up into smaller steps, because if you don't, you might end up overwhelming yourself. I guess being chopped is a good thing now. Being ambitious is cool and all, but there's always a but. You can't always be at 100% every day, because you're simply human. I know, it sucks to be human sometimes. There are just days when you just can't force to be productive, and that's completely fine. I know this might sound a little too cliche for you, but progress is still progress, no matter how big or small. And it's true, which is why what matters in every day is that you show up consistently. And that's why I tell myself to move slow or fast, just don't stop. That sounded so wrong. So if you're ever struggling to lock in, I want you to be smart with your goals. And by smart, I mean it as an acronym. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. You could literally just look it up in Google, and I suggest you do. Anyways, I also wrote here that the candle that burns the brightest burns the fastest. Bars. Anyways, just lock in and don't burn out. And yeah, that's all from me. Subscribe for more, make sure to leave a like, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!